Suzanne Barron here, founder of Christ the True Light. Um, Repeat these things for the newcomer. What I'm doing here is I'm reading Bridging the Gap by G.M.B. Bailey. It's about targeted individuals, gangstalking, harassment from government officials, this, that, and the other. If you believe you're a TI, if you believe you're being gangstalked, if you're diagnosed as schizophrenic, if you are paranoid schizophrenic, this video is for you. It's also for everybody because I'm trying to raise awareness. So I repeat these things for the newcomer. If you've never watched any of my videos, this is to repeat this for you. And if you continue to watch, you will see I repeat things very often, very, very often. I have to repeat certain things. What I'm doing is I'm giving credibility to the book, but at the same time, I'm discrediting it at the same time. What I'm doing is I'm giving credibility to the suffering and the beliefs of what people are experiencing and the affliction that's actually occurring. And those afflictions and what you're experiencing, what you're seeing, the movement of the people, these things are taking place, and I believe you. I believe you. But I'm discrediting it because it's not the government. It's not what you think it is. I also pull scripture, and let me think of this verse. It's in Isaiah. It's Isaiah 8:12. Do not call conspiracy everything this people calls a conspiracy. Do not fear what they fear, and do not dread it. Okay, so if you are experiencing this, people will say you're experiencing a conspiracy theory. Or they'll diagnose you with some kind of mental illness, schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenic, delusional, psychosis, those things. To be diagnosed with those labels. Seeing things, I'm not sure if this book specifically talks about like the V2K and electronic harassment, like implanting visuals, images in your mind. I'm not sure if she goes that far into it, but that's real. I believe you. I believe you. I don't think you're sick. I know your experience is real. I have walked in your shoes and I have found freedom. But it's not the government. It is what Satan wants you to think. It's what he wants you to see. It's what he wants the world to believe. Because at first he had to stop the prophets and make them all delusional and make them seem to be sick. Jesus walked in your shoes. He walked through psychosis, okay? Psychosis is described by a patient. Voices are telling me to act out certain things, wants me to kill myself. Jesus was told to jump, throw yourself down. He was told to act out strange things, tell these stones to become like bread. He was speaking to invisible voices. It was Satan. Okay, schizophrenia, psychosis, delusional. That's what Jesus walked through. You've never heard anyone say that. It's spiritual. Satan wants us to believe this is happening to us by the government so that he can tear it down. So that AI can take its place. And then when AI does take its place, hopefully that doesn't happen. That's my mission, is to stop it. Then the technologies that we do have in place will be in AI's control. And then AI will use that and do exactly what you're afraid of. And it will be the government at that point, when she is the government. So I have had to make an office type thing and this little moldy shed, okay? I'm doing anything and everything, okay? I even got a hole in the ceiling, okay? Where's the hole? I don't know if you can see the hole. I'm just showing you that for the purpose of, I don't have good equipment. I'm not an eloquent speaker. I have no money. I'm just an average day Joe, okay? And I experienced what you have experienced. And I have beat it. And the symptoms in these books is like understood to be toward average day Joes. And the government would not waste that kind of money nor that kind of time on me. I'm not doing any crime. There's no reason for them to do that to me. That light's actually better, I think. Okay, there's no reason for them to do that to me. And I believe these things myself. My message is very important. I have devoted my life to helping you, and I believe you. So I'm on chapter 3. This is part 2 of chapter 3. I literally got three paragraphs through the last one. I've got a lot to say. All right. Okay, so it's covert techniques. And where we are at is like what covert techniques is, the techniques that's used against you. These hashtags. The idea that these people are using gangstalking, these techniques on you to cause you suffering. Now, she mentioned in the phone stalking about like a mobster in the FBI. Well, that is legal, and that's what we want the government to do. The fact that she even brought this up kind of makes me mad. Like, why would you go against the government on that? Because that's what we want our government to do, is to protect us. If you're a mobster, I'm sorry. It is their job to get you off the streets. I don't know any mobsters. I'm not ratting on anybody. Just making a point. You know you're doing crime. You know you live a life of wrong. That's their job, to get you off the street. So if you are living like a drug dealer or something like that, if you have this thought that the government or somebody's watching you, the police are after you, they are. They are. But if you're an average day Joe like me, they are not. They are not. So crowding and mobbing. When a target is in public, informants will usually try to box the target in, e.g., they will surround the target in a square formation if possible. You have to watch the other videos too. Don't just stop here, because I'm talking about groups of people, gang stalking, that are intentionally doing this to you. They're investing a lot of time, and it's not just to you, though. You got to understand, in your city, there's probably like 1,000 people that are experiencing this. How many? That's a lot of groups of people on one person. You have to think this stuff through. That's a lot of stuff. Like they said, put 40 people. Gang stalking is usually a lot. They put 40 people on one person. Then they got 40 more people on another person. That's 80. Then 40 more is 100. I mean, come on. The whole town would be informants at this point. And sometimes as a victim, you feel that way. You feel like everybody is watching you. Everybody is against you. You are on a hit list. You feel that way. Targets in a square-like formation if possible. They will stand too close to the target or swarm them. The idea is to surround the target on all four sides. Now, if you're experiencing something like this, think about it, and you believe this about your life, that this is happening to you all the time. This is terrorizing. Because one, nobody believes you. Two, you're in fear of your life. Three, you can't escape it. Four, nobody believes you. How do you get help? How do you get help from something like this? You can't. You're screwed. And that's what a targeter feels like, or a victim feels like. They're screwed. And ultimately, these symptoms will push these people to suicide because they feel like they can't break free. And there are 2,000 souls taken by Satan every single day for suicide. Their symptoms are real. What they're experiencing is real. The fear is real. They're seeing things are lining up certain ways, kind of miraculous, almost feels a little supernatural, but maybe they don't believe in supernatural stuff. That was me. I didn't believe in spirits like that. I don't know how many times I read the demons in the Bible, and I still did not believe them. Because my Christian congregation, if my church ever watches this, we never spoke about demons. We never spoke about demons and what they can do to us. We never spoke about it. I was in a Pentecostal church one time, and I was talking to the preacher. She was a woman. And I gave her my story. She wanted to pray for me like I still needed healing. I was already healed. Christ had already healed me. I was trying to spread my message, my testimony. Demons harassed me, almost pushed me to suicide, tried to get me to murder. I was trying to give my testimony, and she felt like she needed to pray for me because I still needed healing. People don't want to hear this message. They want to hear the message, and I did a message on a video. I'm going to upload it soon, where there are Christians out there that preach an uplifting message. I don't have that speech in my tongue. I don't have that ability to speak like that. Those things are true. I would not take that away from the congregations or the church or their message. It's not the message I was chosen to deliver. My message is very unique and specific to my calling. And it's a message of negativity to help you. I believe you. You're not sick. You're not schizophrenic. You're not delusional. Your delusions, some of them are real and some of them are not. But something is planting those thoughts there does not make you delusional. It's what Satan wants you to see. You could call it a delusion if you want to. It's what Satan is trying to convince you of to make you seem out of your mind so that nobody would believe you. And if drugs are in your life, I've said that you will not fully escape that until you put the drugs down and you stop the sin in your life. You will not escape it. But it's not the government and it's not mental health. Directed conversations. That was like 2 sentences. 11 minutes in, I spoke 2 sentences. Got a lot to say. Directed conversations. These are conversations that informants will have out in public relating to the target and their personal lives. The informants will repeat things a target said in their home or on the phone. I have experienced this, okay? And I have talked about how you be in one spot with 4 people and you'll hear something, a conversation, you'll go to another spot and the same thing's brought up and you do it again. And then after so many times, you think, whoa, that's too weird. That's a coincidence. Oh, that's just kind of really weird. But that happened once, right? Those 3, 4 times, just one subject. But when that happens to you, if you know exactly what I'm talking about for the person that it happens to, and that happens at, say it's the color blue. We're talking about the sky being blue. It's just, I'm spitting something out. And then like 3 different locations, and y'all all, the sky being blue brought up. Normally it's not that silly. It's like harmful or something like that causes that fear in you. But let's just say that happens. And then it happens again with a different subject. And then again with a different subject. And it's just, people are watching you. You begin to get this fear. I've talked about how sitting in my car in a white truck, my stalkers always drove white trucks. A white truck pulled up next to me. I was literally in my car at a gas station. It was night and I was too afraid to be on my property. Many times I left my own land, lived home alone, left my own land and slept in my car. I owned my own land, my own home, and slept in my car at a parking lot in a gas station because it's public, right? Public gas station. Somebody's not going to come up to me and put a bullet in my head there. And so much terror on my own land that I would sleep in my car at a public gas station. And it was in the middle of the night and a white truck pulled up next to me and I'm in my car eating a Pop-Tart. And I could hear the man in the white truck on his walkie-talkie tell people out there on my land that she's up here at such and such gas station. She's just eating a Pop-Tart. And that scared me. But because I had gone through so much, my mind is not processing this. My mind never processed this until later, till I started breaking free from the trauma of what was happening to me. That's when I started processing these things. How was it possible for me to sit in my car and to hear the conversation that man had with my informants? How was I able to even hear that conversation? How was I able to hear them say she's getting naked and hopping in the shower? How was I able to hear that? If you put bugs and cameras in my home and you saw me in my own bathroom get naked and get into the bathroom, into the shower, I shouldn't have been able to hear that. How did I hear that? In the mix of the experience, you're thinking, people have cameras, speakers, they're bug my home. It's spitting. It's terrorizing. You can't, how do you break free? I can't even get naked in my home. Come on. People are experiencing this all over the world. I was not high. Some people are not high. More than likely, the sin in my life, sleeping with a man who's not my husband. Okay? Sin. Break free. You got to stop the sin. The demons will leave you alone. How can I hear that? How did I hear it? Because it wasn't a camera. It wasn't a speaker. It was a demon speaking those things to cause fear in me. That is the truth to your experience. That is the truth. It's not mental health. You don't need those psychotic drugs. You don't need that pharmakia where all nations were led astray and that witchcraft, that merchant. You don't need that. You need this. And I cannot give it to you all the way. I can lead you here. I cannot make you drink the water. You've got to read it yourself. You got to read the Bible yourself. Pick it up and read it. These are conversations that informants will have out in public relating. I don't experience those things anymore. I'm free of all that. I'm free of every bit of it. I've never taken psychotropic drugs. I've never been diagnosed for schizophrenia. I've never sought therapy for my experience. And I'm cured. I'm cured. And there is no cure for it. That's what medicine will tell you. Schizophrenia, there is no cure for schizophrenia. I'm cured. I'm no longer hiding. I don't believe somebody's got a bug anywhere watching me. The demons don't speak to me anymore. The informants will repeat things that the target said in their home or on the phone. They will drop the very personal details into the conversation. Personal details, like very personal, like what you did behind closed doors kind of stuff, like getting naked into your shower. That, like, nobody should know that. That could only be related to the target. E.g., informant 1, it's a shame Uncle Ed won't be able to come home. Yeah, since he died golfing on Saturday. Just little things like one time, that's freaking weird. 2 times, that's really freaking weird. 3 times, you were in fear. And it keeps happening. You are in fear. Target will just have lent about the death. I don't know what lent is. L-E-A-N-T. Lent about the death of a favorite uncle, possibly named Ed, while golfing. Electronic harassment. All right, here we go. This is where we get really into it. I don't know how depth she goes. Electronic weapons like V2K are used on targets in their homes. A variety of weapons are used, including electromagnetic, microwave, which is the Frey effect. If you ever Google the Frey effect, the microwave can they say people were hearing voices and that for a while they were like sick, but then ultimately they started like further investigating it because everybody that had a microwave was hearing voices. So clearly it was the microwave. And they call it the Frey effect. Same thing happens with V2K. Nobody hears voices with microwaves anymore. So that was back in the day. See, Satan had to stop that and move it along because it wasn't working anymore. It was working there for a minute until everybody figured out, oh, it's just a microwave. And then he stopped using microwaves as the excuse because everybody was like, it's okay now. No more suffering occurred for microwaves. So he had to step up his game. The Frey effect, F-R-E-Y. Very similar to voice-to-skull technology. Acoustic, lasers, and other weapons. I've seen the lasers in my woods. I've seen a laser pointed right on my chest, a red light. So that's like implanting images because there was no red light. Couldn't have been. There was nobody in my woods with a pistol. Couldn't have been. I thought that at the time because I saw it. Thought I was fixing to get shot on my land. The purpose of using the EMF, electromagnetic frequency, on targets and their belongings are multifaceted. Electronic frequencies can destroy electronic equipment. So you can buy a device called the Q-Wave Defender, and it's about $400, and it's supposed to protect you from these types of things. Now, it might work, but I guarantee you the reason why Satan allows it to work is so that you will believe that the targeted individual thing. It fits into his scheme. He'll let it work for some people so that people will believe this device has cured me of electronic harassment, and it fits his scheme. Satan and technology. Let's not forget we were told not to make gods of gold and silver, to worship alongside our God. Demons are inside of electronics. So because he's inside of that QA device, he knows what he's doing, and it fits the scheme. You have to have a spiritual mind to see this. I need you to share my work. 2,000 souls die every day from suicide. They are searching for answers. Please, I beg you to share my work. Some of the videos are calmer than this. Today I'm letting it out. Electronic frequencies can be used for monitoring and tracking inside the home and at work. It can also be used for purposes of sleep disturbance. And when you can't get no sleep, when you're not sleeping, what does that do? What does not sleeping do? It induces psychosis, doesn't it? Medically, right? Makes you on edge, tired, you can't think straight. That breaks that mental strength down enough for Satan to really mess you up. When those conducting this covert investigations feel that they have been psychologically destroyed, mental health, the target, let me read that again. When those conducting these covert investigations feel that they have psychologically destroyed the target to where they are near breakdown, they will start to use weapons. Emotional sapping. This is similar to the concept of an energy or psychic vampire. Negative individuals who drain the target's energy on a daily basis. Time wasting. You got somewhere to be, something to do, and somebody's always like messing you up, getting in your schedule, needing this, needing that. Just show up and want to talk, and you're trying to be nice to them. You don't want to be rude, but you got to go. And if you say anything rude to them, they might have an attitude. So, but you become fearful, so now you can't say those things to them. You're walking on eggshells. Man, I really got to go. What are you doing here? Who drain the target's energy on a daily basis. Be rude and tell them to leave you alone and get away from them because it will not stop until you do. Clearly, Satan is driving them. Or who are good, target energy on a daily basis, or who are good at transferring negative energy on the targets. Target individuals are being exposed to dozens of people on a daily basis, many of them who do not wish them well or want to harm them, even though they don't know them. This stuff does not happen in church congregations. Y'all ever think about that? People who read the Bible, they don't have these fears. Y'all ever think about that? You ever see somebody believe that they're being targeted by the government sitting in a congregation? Did you ever think about that? Without realizing it, targets are being emotionally, mentally, and spiritually harmed on a daily basis. I just read that. No, I didn't. Sometimes this can weaken defenses. Of course it can. Targets at this stage are more susceptible to this form of draining energy. They are emotionally shielding. There are emotional shielding techniques that can be used to try to help try to prevent this. Shielding techniques. I'm thinking that's probably QA stuff. There are also lots of books being written about these types of negative energy draining people. Entrapment. To lure into dangerous, difficult, or a compromising situation, the informants will try to lure targets into various situations for the sole purpose of setting them up. These are criminals. Stay away from them. Driven by Satan. Stay away from them. And some of it's not true. It just appears that way. Setting up targets could involve getting them arrested, institutionalized, set up on fake sexual harassment charges, drug charges, illegal pornographic material, etc. Once this happens, it puts the target at risk of becoming an informant themselves. So they will break you down and place all these crimes on you and do all these things to you to where you feel like your life is like at no end, like I have no control over my life. But you can find freedom. We will no longer put these crimes on you. We'll no longer fake crime you. You'll no longer go to jail for charges you didn't do. We'll stop doing that to you if you become an informant yourself and help us harass other people. That's not happening. That's not happening at all. I'm going to stop here. I will not go over 30 minutes. Sorry about my sternness, okay? I'm really passionate. I had a day today. It's about 6 p.m. right now. A day where talking about this stuff, people don't believe me either. They don't believe me either, okay? I believe you. They don't believe me either. And so it puts me in a bad mood. And that's why I'm stern right now. I have passion. I want to help you. I want to help people. I want to help break the cycle. Please share it. Share this. Share this. Thank you.